Hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. So I thought I'd just do a video about all this kerfuffle about, do Spanish people in general, do they hate tourists? There's been a lot of publicity lately, a lot of demonstrations by Spanish people in tourist areas. And, people are feeling a little bit uneasy about it. And so I just wanted to address it because I just wanted to say that I don't think that you'll find that Spanish people hate tourists. So it's not per se something that they've got against tourists themselves. I think most Spanish people are aware that in tourist areas, tourism obviously is a big part of the economy, and this is important. I think what Spanish people are demonstrating against is they can't afford to live anywhere in these areas. So I don't think this is a Spanish problem. This is a problem for any tourist area, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Italy, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in America. Anywhere that is a tourist area, it creates problems for local people living there, doesn't it? So although in one hand it gives work, tourists coming in, it creates, the tourism trade creates a lot of jobs, employment, etc. But what it takes away from people is affordable housing, and especially now in the days of Airbnbs, a lot of places that were made Airbnb that before were long-term lets that Spanish people used to live in. Traditionally in Spain, buying your house is not been so common as renting a property, and rents are affordable generally in Spain, but not now, because a lot of people that were renting their properties, their spare properties, were finding that they can earn an awful lot more money by making them an Airbnb and renting them out short-term holiday lets. So they've taken them off the rental market for normal people, for normal working people who work in the area, and it's become harder and harder to find affordable rental properties. And in fact, people have been evicted from their homes virtually, pushed out of their homes, not because they've done anything wrong, not because they haven't paid the rent or whatever, but because the owner of that home now wants to make it an Airbnb. So this is what Spanish people are protesting about. I just wanted to make that clear. And it has, there are some anti-protests now, if you like. So anti-tourism. Gosh, my computer's acting really strange today, as usual. It's blocked. It's stuck. Can you still see me? I think I'm still on there. I think I am. So yeah, there's been a lot of anti-tourism protests now. I think it's working properly now. Hang on. Because some people, want to make it clear that tourists are welcome in Spain. Tourists are welcome. So, we've got a lot of anti-tourist. It's been reported on a lot. I think you've got to be very careful with sometimes how it's been represented in the British news, for example, because I do believe that in Britain, they want you to staycation, don't they? They want you to stay in Britain, spend your money in Britain, don't want you to go abroad. and spend your money, you know. So I think they're making a bigger thing out of it maybe than it really is. But it is a thing. I mean, it is happening. Undoubtedly, it's happening. There's a lot of talk about it. But I just want to make it clear that these protesters, really, they are angry with the government for not sort of dealing with this, not addressing it, for leaving them as they feel, you know, with nowhere to live or struggling because of tourism. So I just want to say these are anti-tourism in a way, not anti-tourism, but anti the effects of tourism that aren't being addressed by the government, and not because they hate tourists. It's not like that. It's they just, I think there were things like this happened in Wales, weren't there, where Welsh people were actually burning people's holiday homes and not so long ago. And you know, this happens if any of you live in a seaside resort or a holiday area. I mean, I live not far from one, and it is irritating in July and August when the tourists come in, and then you can't find anywhere reasonable to go, or the prices of everything go up. You know, this is just how it is, because it's like, you know, where people can see a way of charging more money for things in certain parts of the year. And what you have to remember is, like, for a lot of people, maybe they live on that tourism trade and they've only got 2 months, maybe July and August, where they can really, you know, quite often in July and August they make their money for the year, and the rest of the year they're just ticking over. But it's July and August where maybe they make their profits for the year. So sometimes people do cash in on that a little bit. So all these things are irritating, and maybe something should be done about it, because what happens is locals get priced out, don't they? So they know, you know, people who are coming over to Spain on holiday, they've got a lot more disposable money, disposable income than people who live here, because wages are low in Spain. So, you know, it's all those issues. So people feel like they're being priced out, you know, and the cost of living crisis, of course, is bad as it is. And then I think it's felt more in these areas. So I just wanted to address that, because, I mean, there's definitely been a change in attitudes towards particularly British people since Brexit. I think Brexit has had the biggest effect on making well, Spanish people not really like British people, whereas before I think they did like them a lot more. But, you know, Brexit had a big effect. It had a very undermining effect on the reputation of British people in Spain, of, you know, why do British people not want to be part of Europe? What's wrong with them? Why are we, you know, why do we feel like we're better than everybody else? I mean, that is a real big thing. That is a bigger thing for me as a person who lives in Spain, who's experienced it. I've been in Spain over 20 years. I've been here when we were popular, and I'm here now when we're not popular. And I'm hoping we'll get popular again as we've got a new government, and hopefully, at least, if nothing else, it will be a lot more European friendly. Okay, so I just thought to give a little chat about that, and I'll see you really soon in the next video. Te veo muy pronto en el próximo video, y hasta entonces que tu Dios vaya contigo.